Hi, it's Michael. It can be said that life in this world moves in self reinforcing loops. And it's very important to understand this if you want to progress in your life, because it affects everyone all the time, no exceptions. So, whenever you make a choice, and we make choices all the time, obviously, whether you make a choice to employ some thoughts, to think, or to do something, some action, or to eat something, to entertain something, to use something, whatever choice you make, the thing you have chosen, whether it's a physical thing or a non-physical thing like a thought or emotion or attitude, has a certain energy quality, certain energy level. It could be even said certain charge, certain vibrational quality. That's all interchangeable for the purpose of this talk. And so this vibrational quality, this charge, has a certain level, and on top of that, it attracts to it things of similar energy, similar quality, similar vibrational level. So when you choose something, it's not only the energy of the thing you have chosen, but it's also the things that are attracted to it. So this kind of forms what could be said like a track, like a train track, or it could be said even a rut, or a certain pattern. Maybe rat is a little bit more strong at this point, but a certain pattern. Now, on top of that, as Dr. David Hawkins said, if the choice is made more times, it increases the likelihood that you'll make the same choice again. On top of that, the mind, the ego, doesn't like change much, doesn't like to be honest with itself. It likes, the ego, the mind loves drama, even if it means its own destruction. And on the top of that, the ego, the mind, cannot tell truth from falsehood, as Dr. David Hawkins has revealed and clearly shown. So all these things that have just been mentioned combine to form a self-reinforcing loop. It's a loop, kind of a circle, a dragon that eats its own tail. And it kind of forms a rut at this point, and you can very easily get stuck in this rut. And in fact, you are getting stuck in ruts. Everybody is, without exception, except perhaps for enlightened people, of which there are maybe a handful, if in the entire world. Anyway, so these ruts establish, and they control your life, or you allow them to control your life to a certain degree, and it is very hard to break through them, and in some instances it's impossible to break through them just by using the personal will. Again, as Dr. David Hawkins has revealed in his talks, the personal will is not strong enough to break through these ruts by itself. Now, the lower energy quality, the lower charge, the lower vibrational quality, the more negative this thing you have chosen is, the more negative this rut, this track, this pattern is, the more strength, the more hold it has on your life, and the harder it is to break through. That's at least one of the reasons why addiction and bad habits are so hard to drop, almost impossible to drop for some people. Now, the more positive thing you choose, again, whether it's attitude, emotion, food, drink, entertainment, action, whatever it may be, the more positive it is, the less hold it has on you, the more respectful it is towards you, could be said. And the more the associated energy with it, the more they are kinder, the more they are kind and respectful towards you. Now, so we have established that our lives get stuck in ruts. That applies to everybody, there is no exception. So how to break through the ruts? And here comes the point, or one of the points of this talk, is that it is the higher power that helps us to break through the ruts. And as again Dr. David Hawkins mentioned, the divine will is extremely powerful, and it can help us transcend all these habits, these established patterns, and what seems to be as an impossibility to the mind is but a feather to the divine will, to the power of divine love, to the divine. So that's one of the reasons why positive affirmation and praying for help, for divine help, are so important. They have nothing to do with religions per se. Some people may get put off by prayers being associated with religions. Of course, religions use prayers, but prayers go beyond religions. Prayers are basically positive affirmations, positive statements in which you ask, in a thanksgiving statement, you ask the higher power to help you. And again, that is done in, the best is to do it in thanksgiving statement as if you already have it. For example, I am very grateful for divine help in keeping me safe and growing and progressing in my life. That's a prayer, that's a positive affirmation. You can say amen, you can say awareness or whatever. It's especially the intention behind it, more so than the wording itself. And so asking for divine help is absolutely essential. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be verbal asking, even though verbal asking is helpful and it could be said important. It is the state of your being and your doing that are the a kind of silent wording that by your doing, by your choices, you show to the divine what you're up to, what your intentions are, and then divine can help you. The divine has to be invited into your life. This world is set up so the spirit, the positive, the divine, the higher power has to be invited in your life. You can refuse it, and people refuse it all the time by using toxins, by using negative entertainment, by being mean to other people, by being egotistic. All these things, negative intentions, negative actions, and toxins, they all are wordless prayers, could be said, wordless statement to divinity that you're not interested in divinity. Okay, so if you pray to divinity verbally, if you say some prayers, but then your actions are negative, again, you take advantage of people, you are mean to people, you take toxins, you intake toxins into your system, you use negative entertainment, you are negating your prayer. Okay, so toxins have been mentioned. So what are the toxins that people take in? Obviously there are many toxins. The most common ones are alcohol, drugs, and smoking. There are some others like coffee, pork, and so on. The most common are smoking, drugs, and alcohol, and Buddhism calls these the basis of negligence. Alcohol is a toxin too, and all serious spiritual schools and teachers recommend staying away from all these toxins all the time, no exception. Okay, so that's it for this talk. Just to quickly wrap up, hopefully in few words, is that our choices take us to a certain energy pattern, and this energy pattern gets reinforced from many possible ways and directions. It gets reinforced, and it can be, and many times it is very hard to break through, very hard to transcend, very hard to dissolve, to go beyond it. And if we want to progress in our life, if we want to evolve, we have to break through this pattern, we have to transcend them. So to do that, we need help from the higher power, and we obtain it by asking. Asking can be verbal and also through our actions and intentions. And it is important to stay away from toxins, of course. They have been already mentioned. Drugs, smoking, alcohol, coffee, pork, so on. And a huge help in transcending these patterns, these self-reinforcing loops, is keeping your nervous system running at an optimum level, like a champion. And for that, there are two healthcare techniques that help with it tremendously. One is chiropractic, and the other healthcare technique is neuro-emotional technique, NET, that is performed by specially trained doctors. If you want to find a practitioner, you can go to the website netmindbody.com, netmindbody.com, and in the upper right hand corner there is a link, practitioner finder or find practitioner, and it will reveal an interactive map that you can find a doctor that performs the technique. It can speed up your progress in life, your evolvement tremendously, and it can help you break through seemingly hopeless and helpless situations. Alright, so if you have this is it for this talk. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below the video. Michael out.